paragraph 1 continued. Sounds great, right? Not so fast. Now, I underline all the rhetorical devices and techniques that the author uses. Sounds great, right? Now, this question, Q4 question, would obviously be a rhetorical question. And the whole phrase itself, sounds great, right? Not so fast. That would be colloquial tone. Very conversational, very informal, trying to be kind of welcoming to the audience. While the notion of a more educated populace is not a horrible idea in itself, the conviction that everyone should actually pursue a degree after graduating high school is unfounded. So Liam Lieberman wants to tell us that not everyone needs to pursue a college degree. Not everyone needs to go to college after high school. All right, moving on to paragraph 2. One of the primary arguments made by proponents of universal higher education is that, now he's going to talk about the proponents of higher education. A synonym for proponents: advocates or supporters of higher education. Now, these people who support the notion that everyone should go to college, what's one of their arguments? Those with college degrees earn higher wages than those without. Now, this is the first argument. You're going to get paid more. You're going to get a higher salary if you go to college. This is only true because extremely high earners, such as doctors and lawyers, tend to skew the statistics in that direction. So, up to here, he's talking about the supporters of a universal higher education. But after this second sentence, he's actually talking about the view of the opponents or the view of the critics of universal higher education, because these opponents are saying that, no, you don't get paid more. Actually, if you look on the average, they're actually paid the same, but it's because there are doctors and lawyers, these two professions that make a lot of money and have a really high salary. They tend to skew the statistics in that direction. So note the counter-argument that's used. The counter-argument is the view of the supporters or the view of the advocates of universal higher education. They believe that college degree holders earn higher wages or they get a higher salary than those who do not have college degrees. Note his view. His view is the view of the opponents or the critics. They believe that higher pay for college graduates is skewed by high wage earners, extremely high wage earners, like two professions, doctors and lawyers. So you shouldn't really actually believe what the proponents of universal higher education believe in. And this whole paragraph in and of itself is reasoning because he's talking about the proponents and then he's talking about the opponents. Now, this whole logical flow could be known as reasoning. We're going to continue on with paragraph 2. He starts off the sentence by using yet. Now, using words like yet or but are used for reasoning and counter-arguments because you would talk about the opposing view, you would admit the opposing view, and then you would ultimately do that to strengthen the author's view. So if you look at the sentence, yet it's important to keep in mind that such occupations. Now, these occupations he's referring to as doctors and lawyers. That was mentioned before in the beginning part of paragraph 2. Require graduate school, not just a 4-year college degree. And if we ignore the highest paying professions, the highest paying professions being, again, these doctors and lawyers, it becomes obvious that a college degree is not needed to make a good living. So in this second half of the body paragraph of paragraph 2, he wants to say that higher pay professions, these higher pay professions being the doctors and lawyers, require not just 4 years of college, they also require graduate school. And graduate school is really demanding. So if you take out these two professions and you eliminate these two professions, then actually what Liam Lieberman really wants to say, he wants to say that the other professions, you don't really need to go to college. So he's trying to say that not everyone needs to pursue higher education. This whole paragraph or part of the paragraph is again reasoning because he's stating the opponent's view and then he's stating his views. Let's continue on with paragraph 2. For example, according to data published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary of a school teacher is similar to that of a plumber. So now he's comparing a school teacher. A school teacher, you need a degree. And he's comparing a school teacher to a plumber. A plumber, you don't need a degree. And he mentions that, unlike a school teacher, a plumber is not required to have a college degree. So his main point here, a teacher's salary is roughly the same. Roughly the same is paraphrasing, is similar as a plumber. And one requires a degree, one does not require a college degree. Saying that, if you go to college, you're not paid more. You're actually going to be paid similar to someone who went to college and didn't go to college. So a plumber does not require a college degree. And this part of the paragraph 2 is actually authoritative source. As I underlined, these results were published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. If you have capital letters, these are all going to be authority. You could call it appeal to authority. Or you can just refer to it as an authoritative source. You're going to believe what this organization is saying. Paragraph 3. This leads me to a related point. These same voices that advocate college for all, now he keeps referring to the advocates for a college for all. And he referred to this before as the proponents for college for all. So these supporters who believe that everyone needs to go to college, they also tell us that today's labor market increasingly requires college-educated employees. This is simply not true. So the proponents being his opposing view. And then after, this is simply not true, this sentence is going to talk about his view, Liam Lieberman's view. Now, what is his view? The skilled trades are permanent components of a healthy economy, and they have some of the most favorable outlooks for job acquisition and security. So Liam Lieberman wants to really focus on his point on how skilled trades are more important. If you have a skill and you don't have a degree, you can still be successful. Let's look at the note. He uses a counter-argument. As I said before, the counter-argument is his opposing view. It's the view of the proponents, and these proponents believe that more college graduates are required in the workforce due to a fast-paced modern job market. His view is that you don't need to go to college, you just need to have a skill, and these skilled trades are actually more important to get a successful job. And as I said before, in paragraph 2 and paragraph 3, these are all forms of reasoning because he talks about his opposing view, he talks about his view. He talks about the proponents of universal education, and then he talks about his view, and he being an opponent of universal higher education.